What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Canelo Alvarez, and Dmitry Bivol. Get this, Canelo Alvarez versus Dmitry Bivol equals Eddie Hearn's dream fight for May 7th. Wow. Okay. Canelo Alvarez and his trainer-manager Eddie Reynoso would make Eddie Hearn very happy if they chose his fighter, Dmitry Bivol, as their next opponent for May 7th. Hearn promotes the WBA light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol, which is 19-0 with 11 KOs, and he thinks he would be a dandy choice for Canelo, which is 57-1-2 and 39, to face on the Cinco de Mayo holiday weekend. Bivol is an unlikely choice for Canelo because he would have an excellent chance of beating him. That right there rules out any possibility of Bivol getting the fight with Alvarez. Since 2018, Canelo has been fighting gimmies strictly, and it would be out of character for him to fight a live dog in Bivol. Canelo hasn't let the cat out of the bag as of yet about his next choice, but there's a strong belief that he's going to disappoint the boxing public. The name that keeps popping up as Canelo's next opponent is the WBC cruiserweight champion, Yunga Makabu, shaky belt holder who is unknown to casual boxing fans, but well remembered by the hardcore fans for his third-round knockout loss to Tony Bellew in 2016. If Canelo wanted to turn himself into a villain in the eyes of the fans, he would pick Jake Paul and stick the fight on pay-per-view. You can only imagine the uproar that will occur if Canelo starts and he fights Jake, but nonetheless, we're talking about Bivol, okay? So let's talk about Bivol for a minute. Canelo, Bivol, that would be a very good fight. That would be a more difficult fight than someone like Beterbiev. Why? Age, speed, size, style. Because Dmitry Bivol is a combination fighter. He reminds me of a bigger, younger Gennady Golovkin. I don't know about his chin, okay? But as far as the fundamentals, he's just younger and bigger, and he reminds me of Golovkin, with the jab, combinations behind the jab. He's not as reckless. I don't know if he's as powerful, but, it's not like he lacks power. He's a very big guy. He's strong. He's tall. He has the reach. And I do question, like I've always have, I question, well, why did Canelo fight at 175, the oldest, rustiest son of a mother sucker there, which his name is Sergey Kovalev, right? So, you fight Kovalev, but you didn't fight those other undefeated live dogs. So, more than likely it wouldn't be it. But it just shows you that a guy like Eddie Hearn has his choices for Canelo, and it shows you that he wants to make the best fights. That would be the best fight. I mean, it's the obvious fight. You're at 168. Dude, you got every belt there. What are you going to cruiserweight for, really? Unless you were going to do something bigger like Roy Jones or Evander Holyfield. If you wanted to be one of those elite in that particular category with those live dogs like that, you would do those type of things that they did. But if you're just bouncing around trying to avoid the better competition in fights, that's why people give him slack and pushback, because they see like, okay, dude, you went to 168 from 160. You fought Rocky Fielding. Instead of fighting the other guys there at the time, you went to 175 and you fought the weakest link, right? Then from that, then you went back to 168 and then you cleaned up shop. But then you didn't fight the live dogs at 175. Now you're going past 175 to go somewhere else, to fight Makabu. But then if you come back and you don't fight, and you fight Makabu and beat Makabu, which more than likely will be the case, then you go to 175 and you fight Beterbiev at like age 38 and you beat him. Should you get that credit for beating Artur Beterbiev at that point? You know what I mean? Because people see the trend. I've seen the trend for the last 6 years. You didn't want to fight Golovkin in 16 or 15. You fought him in 17. Then you fought him a year later at the exact same time in 18 because of some type of adverse finding or, well, you failed 2 drug tests. So then you fight him. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, okay, well, you do things to contradict what you are supposed to be good at. When he fought Lara and that, you know, when he started doing things like that, that was cool, even though the scorecards were bullshit. So it was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, he gave us a fight that we wanted to see, but then the fight happened the way the scorecards didn't reflect it to be. Bars. But, you know what I mean? It was almost like, all right, what else is this guy doing? You know, then you fight Golovkin again. Then, you know, you fight a better fight, I guess, you know, to the crowd, to the Mexican crowd or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you go to 168, beat the shit out of Rocky Field, and then I just said all that stuff earlier. Right? So it's almost like a guy that keeps like bouncing around to doing certain things. You know, now this this writer on this particular article, yeah, he did go in hard on Canelo Alvarez. You could tell he's not a fan of Canelo, but, you know, it's not like he's lying. You know, but I mean, based on the opinions that he's doing and he's saying, you know, he is giving Canelo a lot of quote unquote criticism, right? But I mean, he's not off the far beaten path, because Canelo does do things, you know, and for the record, for him saying, hey, I do whatever I want, that's no different from Floyd, Money Mayweather doing the same shit. So don't try to be like Mayweather. And here's the thing, if you're going to hate Mayweather for those reasons, you should hate everybody that does what Mayweather does as well. Or did as well. Okay? Just saying. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn's dream fight for Canelo Alvarez in May on the 7th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!